Risa Hontiveros Supalpal ang inabot kay Marcoleta, Remulla at Cayetano sa Senado. Supalpal ngayon ang inabot ng kaliwang grupo nila Hontiveros sa grupo nila Marcoleta at Remulla sa Senado. Matapos ang mga naging mainit na sagutan nito tungkol sa investigasyon na gustong gawin ng ICC sa Pilipinas, particular na sa dating Pangulong Duterte. Matatandaan na noon ay sinuplak ni Justice Secretary Boyeng Remulla ang hiling ng ICC kaugnay sa war on D ng Duterte administration. Hindi na miyembro ang Pilipinas sa ICC. Ito ang simpleng sagot ni Justice Secretary Boyeng Remulla matapos pinagsusumiti ng ICC ang Pilipinas ng formal nitong pahayag hinggil sa war on D ng Duterte administration. Matatandaan na hiniling ni Prosecutor Karim Khan na pahintulutan na ang ICC na ipagpatuloy ang kanilang investigasyon hinggil sa umano'y EJK ng war on D campaign sa ilalim ng Duterte admin. Ito'y dahil sa umano'y bigong maipakita ng Pilipinas ang sariling resulta sa investigasyon nito. Sa isang order na inilabas noong July 14 ng ICC Pre-Trial Chamber 1, binigyan hanggang September 8, 2022 na palugit ang pamahalaan upang makapagsumite ng formal nitong pahayag sa gagawing investigasyon. Sinabi pa ni Remulla na walang papel ang ICC para punahin ang sistema ng bansa sa pagpapatupad ng batas.
I would like just to have your thoughts on something which has befuddled the previous Congresses, 17th, 18th, 16th, 15th, 14th, 13th, and even my present committee, Committee on Justice. I have several pending bills on an issue which you may or may not answer. It has something to do with the death penalty. I would like to extract from your mind and current feelings, any thoughts on the reimposition or perhaps the preservation of the status quo as to the death penalty. You have the floor. You may or you may not answer, Secretary Remulla.
Thank you, Your Honor. The death penalty can be viewed in two ways. One is as it is payment for a sin, and the other one is it is a deterrent to a crime. Deterrent to crimes. Payment for a sin is a belief that many people hold that is found in the Old Testament, an eye for an eye, while the other part of the debate is it a deterrent to the commission of a crime? Well, as a matter of deterrence, Your Honor, I believe that deterrence can only be done if there is certainty of punishment. If the justice system is efficient, we can deter the commission of crime. But as to the philosophical underpinnings of punishment and as a payment for the commission of a sin, that is still one that will divide society forever. The value of life will always be important to all of us. And the value of society is also very important to all of us. It is up to a democratic country like ours to vote on this issue. I believe that policymakers should debate it properly and vote on it as representatives of the people. But it can be debated, and we should learn both sides of the debate, Your Honor, before we decide on the issue of the death penalty.
Nobody would admit his age. So we recognize Representative Marcoleta.
Salamat po, Mr. Chair. Secretary, my personal view is that the role of the ICC is to end impunity and to establish the rule of law to punish specific, serious, and grave crimes. But as long as the country is in a position and capable of maintaining its judicial system, meaning to say it is fully operational, the ICC cannot impose its own standards of investigating and prosecuting accountability. And even in the event that the offender is absolved by the national court of this country, it is my humble view that the ICC cannot review the judgment of the national court. Do you concur with this personal view, Mr. Secretary?
Yes, Your Honor.
Salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Binanggit po ni Secretary sa kanilang opening remarks yung rule of law, and I appreciate that po. In relation po to that, the ICC's pre-trial chamber gave us until September 8th to submit our observations on the continuing investigation into the alleged crimes against humanity committed in the context of the former president's war on drugs. Have these observations been submitted?
Your Honor, since we are no longer members of the ICC, we could not give any information to them as a matter of compliance or submission. We gave them information as a matter of committee, following the international law principle that there is respect among nations and among multilateral agencies in our country. So the findings of Department of Justice were given to them by Solicitor General Bernardo Guevara, and he was the one who forwarded the information that they were asking for with regards to the drug war and the other extrajudicial killings that happened in our country. It is following this principle that we gave the ICC the information.
Who is raising his hand? Again,
Chair.
second round. Congressman Marcoleta and then Senator Cayetano. Who is the more senior? Congressman
you.
Marcoleta, you have the
Isn't
floor.
it obvious?
Mr. Chair, Secretary, a human rights group called Karapatan made a statement that there will be more injustice and even more impunity under the presumptive Marcos Duterte administration with you at the helm of the DOJ. And a community pantry organizer also posted in her Facebook that she is very, very uncomfortable with you as DOJ Secretary because of your history of red tagging several personalities. Could you care to comment, sir?
Your Honor, red tagging, if you think about the term in terms of etymology, was invented by members of the progressive groups to defend themselves. Meaning to say, many of the progressive groups who were aligned with the enemies of the state, like the CPP and PA, came up with the term red tagging. Your Honor, I'm more confused now because I do not really know how to call people who kill our soldiers and people who kill our policemen or people who kill our civilians. I do not want to call them heroes, Your Honor. I just want to call them by their name. So if I am called, if they say that it's red tagging, Your Honor, I'm just saying the truth, Your Honor. I'm not casting aspersion on anybody. I'm just calling a spade, Your Honor.
Are you done with your questioning, Congressman Marcoleta? One more? It's now the turn of Senator Cayetano.
Good morning, dear colleagues, Mr. Chair, our Secretary-to-be. Mga manifestation lang, Mr. Chair. As I said in the previous hearing, napakaraming i-bring up pero siguro sa budget hearing and sa ibang pagkakataon because I don't want to entangle it in his confirmation, especially if we believe that he is in his integrity and that he's very much qualified. First, sundan ko lang po si Congressman Marcoleta sa human rights. The best way to deal with human rights in our country is not to weaponize it. Wag i-politicize, wag maging partisan issue yung human rights. So kung may human rights violation, let's call it. Mali yun. Di ba? Mali, kahit anong mangyari. Pero kung ibabago-baguhin natin yung terms, tapos police lang ang pwedeng magka-human rights or yung nakaupo lang, di ba? In fact, napakaganda ng reputasyon natin abroad pagdating sa OFWs at saka sa mga issues ng migration. Tayo nagli-lead sa human rights doon. Pero meron din po talagang iba't ibang grupo worldwide, no? And remember, this is a political group at may funding din dito, no? At ang pagkuha ng funding dyan ay pag-represent kung gaano kasama ang human rights violation ng isang administrasyon without balancing it of what you're doing naman, no? So, we will have an opportunity because yung ating periodic review sa UN is coming up. And siguro we will judge it then, Secretary, kung fair ang presentation ng administrasyon na ito o hindi, no? Secondly, Chair, I'd just like to manifest 2 items that I think pwede natin ipakiusap na tignan kaagad ni Secretary. Kung hindi pa niya tinitignan, pero tigin ko tinitignan na niya dahil binanggit na niya yung corruption sa BID. On the other side of corruption is since tinanggal yung overtime, talagang hirap yung marami nating mga nasa BID at minsan grabe din yung overtime, yung trabaho. So parang balansehin natin yung dun sa kanilang income. But I've noticed the few times that I've used the international airport, may mga bakante pang immigration na pwedeng buksan pero walang tao. So parang humahaba ang pila. So I know it was the DOTR who inspected, but since the immigration is under the DOJ, if the Secretary has not already given instruction, may he take a look at this or maybe a surprise visit sa NAIA para lang sa convenience ng atin mga kababayan, no? The other matters, Mr. Chair, I will take up at the appropriate time, but I'd just like to manifest that I've known the nominee to be, the appointee to be someone who's a no-nonsense. Buti wala nga mag-o-object dito. I think it's the right time and the right place. Wala atang sigmaro ngayon sa CA. So, eksakto yung paglagay sa'yo. But, you know, no matter how we manifest how close we are to Secretary Boying Remulla, I'm sure na ang magiging rule niya tama is tama, mali is mali. So I will not manifest how I worked with you because I know we will judge everything on the merit. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yung criminal activities continue inside the bilibid, no? Nandyan yung drugs at yung mga sindikato, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang kanilang activities, yung mga cellphone, dinismantle yung mga kubol, hopefully makatulong. Anong plano ng Secretary Boying para andito na lang ang mga congressmen and senators so that, you know, when budget season comes, probably we can support the plans of the DOJ Secretary on how we will be able to correct, no, and improve our Bureau of Corrections, the Bilibid in particular.
Sa usaping ito po kasi, ang talagang bottom line po rito ay umalis na tayo sa Bilibid at mag-regionalize na po tayo ng mga kulungan. 1 prison per region. At dito po ay pwede, may financial model po akong pinapropose na ang local government unit ng isang region ang magpo-propose ng gumawa ng isang prison na meron po tayong module na approved ng DPWH. The local government unit may top the prison which can be leased out and sold to the government after 30 years. Build, lease, and transfer arrangement po. Pwede ho nilang iprenda yung kanilang national revenue allotment, sila ho magpapagawa ng prison, tapos babayaran po sila every year na national government as lease, leading to lease to own ang mangyayari po. Dahil wala tayong capital outlay na biglaan sa bagay na ito. As it is right now, it will cost around 5 to 6 billion pesos to build a 2,000 to 3,000 person facility. Ganun po ang costing na ating tinitingnan. Kung ito po ay mabibuild natin sa lahat po ng region ng country, mas madali po ang magiging dalaw ng mga preso, mas madali po silang ma-reform at magkakaroon po sila ng family support. Sa ngayon kasi, ang central prison po natin sa sa New Bilibid prisons ay napakalaki. It is probably one of the biggest mega prisons in the world. Kung papasyalan niyo po, ako yung pumasok na ho sa loob ng maximum security. At doon po ako kahapon muli. We have 17,000 prisoners in an area built for 4 to 6,000 people. So 300% po, 400% na ho halos ang capacity natin ginagamit ito. So it's really about time that we took out Bilibid to keep in touch with the corrections culture of the world. Kasi ang modernization po ng corrections, ongoing po yan sa buong mundo. Sana po sumakisabay po tayo sa trends po na mas maliliit po yung prisons para po mas ma-reform po ang mga prisoner. Yun po ang plano po natin dyan.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Yung mega drug facility sa Nueva Ecija, pwede rin sigurong gamitin, no? Dahil para hindi naman masayang.
Yes, Your Honor. Binisita ko na po yung sa Nueva Ecija. Ito pwede ho sa minimum security prison. Yung mga malapit na kung pakawalan, tsaka light po yung offenses, pwede ho natin ilagay po sa Nueva Ecija. Pero yung yung Bilibid as itself, dapat po talaga we have to have a 5-year timeline na makaalis na po tayo sa Muntinlupa. At ang proposal po natin dyan ay gawing National Government Center. Kasi 244 hectares is sufficient to put in the whole national government and even the 3 branches of government in one area, Your Honor.
Thank you. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator JB. So the next to question is the younger one, Congressman
The
Pimentel.
younger senior.
You recognize Congressman Johnny Pimentel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Secretary, just recently, there was a video that has gone viral since showing 2 Chinese nationals being killed in the presence of private security agencies, which are Filipinos. Meron din pong isang video na nag-viral din, salvaged Chinese nationals along the highway. In fact, it was shown in live TV. Ang tanong ko po, Mr. Secretary, with this increase of killings of Chinese nationals, ano po ba ang pwede nating gawin as far as DOJ concerned to stop the killings of these Chinese nationals?
Your Honor, we can treat this number one as an immigration matter and at the same time also as a police matter, Your Honor. As an immigration matter, I think that the entry of because we are a country that has visa-free entry for most nationalities, Your Honor, and even those who enter, we do not have a good record of them, especially the biometric record that we have to keep, Your Honor. So it's really modernizing our system first of immigration, that if we are able to get the biometric record, we can store all of this and know and have a database of people who enter our country and their whereabouts. And number 2, Your Honor, is as a police matter, we just have to be more vigilant in the presence of these people. Your Honor, there are now 800,000 illegal aliens in the country, more than we can really imagine. And it is a problem that we have to face head on right now. This number of illegal aliens has to be sorted out properly. The killings now that we see on video, going through the internet to our telephones, is very disturbing, Your Honor. And we really need more police visibility and better surveillance of people just to prevent this from happening. But we also have to have a more systematic way of dealing with the aliens around the country so that we will be able to have a record of them and to keep track of all their movements, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Chair, I would also like to take this opportunity to manifest my support to Secretary Boying Remulla. I have known him personally. He was a colleague of mine during the 18th Congress. He also served as a representative of Cavite in the 13th, 14th, and 15th Congress. And more than that, he served as governor of the province of Cavite from 2016 to 2019. So he has had a lot of experience being a public servant. And more than that, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chair rather, I was going over his personal information sheet, and I have seen that he has no derogatory record regarding any case involving the NBI, the BIR, and the Office of the Ombudsman. So therefore, based on this unblemished record of Secretary Remulla, I fully support his nomination or for confirmation, Mr. Chair.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Chair, distinguished colleagues, I move to recommend to the plenary for the commission to confirm the ad interim appointment of Secretary Jesus Crispin Katibayan Remulla as Secretary of Department of Justice. So moved.
I second the motion.
Second the motion.
Recognize the arrival
Second
of
the motion as well.
Senator Ivy Marcos. There is a motion to recommend to the plenary for the commission to confirm the ad interim appointment of Attorney Jesus Crispin Katibayan Remulla as Secretary of Justice. Is there any objection?
Not an objection, Your Honor, but I just like to manifest, if I may, that baka magtaka yung ibang secretary, napakabilis ni Secretary Remulla, but we give that courtesy to former members of the legislature. And so I'd like to congratulate Secretary Remulla, and we wish you the best of luck, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The committee notes the manifestation. Without objection, the motion is hereby approved. Congratulations.
Para naman sa inyo, ano naman ang masasabi nyo tungkol dito? Magkomento lamang sa baba at huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe para updated ka sa mga maiinit na balita sa Pilipinas. Maraming salamat sa panonood.